had done the math workshop. That's just sad that I gave a point because they were working on the math workshop and all that. You've been in this room for 6 minutes now at least. You hadn't even tried the math workshop right? And it's going to be on a 60% test? Goodness, you're banking on a lot today. Woo. Okay, let's start with number 4. I need to factor, but first I need to move everybody to the same side. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And then hopefully those 4 who had already done the math workshop could tell me the easiest thing to do from here. Six can have a point. There is a GCF. Oh, no, I thought there was. There's not. I thought there was going to be one. If this was a 3, it would be. They would all have a 3 in common, but no, sadly enough. So I'm going to do guess and check. I don't even know that I necessarily want to do that. I might want to do 3x and 3x. Well, let's try it. So I'm just guessing because it's guess and check. Maybe it's plus 1, plus 4, maybe. So if I FOIL that out, and I'm going to do that in my head because Lord knows if I show all this out and I'm pretty sure my guess is wrong, I'm going to run out of room. 9x squared, that part's right. Plus 9x plus 4x, well that's plus 13x. I don't need 13x, I need 12x. So my guess is incorrect. So I guess 9x and x. Maybe I should guess 3x and 3x. Maybe if I do that, I'll put the 1 here and the 4 here and see. Who knows? Again, it's called guess and check for a reason. I guess it, I check it. If it doesn't work out, I make a different guess. 9x squared for first, that's correct. Plus 12x plus 3x, so that's plus 13, 14, 15. Still too big. Not working. Okay, someone have another guess? I believe so too. So if we do 3x and 3x, maybe I should pick different multiples of 4. I just keep doing 1 and 4. What should I try instead? Let's try 2 and 2. Every group can have a point. Okay, if I FOIL this out, 3x squared for the first, that's correct. I mean 9x squared for the first, that's correct. Plus 6x plus 6x, oh, that's 12x. And then the last is 4. Yep, that is going to be the answer. And I say that's going to be the answer, and I've still not reached a definite answer. I have to set each of these factors equal to 0. And I'll end up getting x equals what number? Yes, and you can have a point. Hunter, and why did I only bother to write it once? Why didn't I write both of them equal to 0? Because they're the same. So it just seemed kind of repetitive. But I mean, it's x equals negative 2 over 3. Yes, it happens twice, which means if we were graphing, if we were to go back and put this in our calculator and graph it, it's the kind of parabola where the vertex is at negative 2/3 on the x-axis. Going deep, way back. Number 5 is our next problem to do with today, and we're saving 6 until Monday for a reason because it's the difference of perfect cubes. If you want to look that up beforehand, it's going to be something new we're going to need to know. Number 5 is not new. It is something you should know, though. It's the difference of perfect squares. I already know the answer. Can someone tell me the answer to number 5? Perfect squares. And?
2x plus 5.
Yes, 2 and 6 get a point. Okay, I know 2 squared is 4. When you're on my nerves. I know 2 squared is 4. I know 5 squared is 25. They have to have opposite sides in order to actually get that negative 25.
Number 5 over here.
Do what?
To number 5.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, the next one we're going to say till Monday is, so this is the difference of perfect squares. The next one is dealing with difference of perfect cubes. So a little harder to remember the difference of perfect squares, and we're going to have to talk about that on Monday. It's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, how about your notes from yesterday? First period, they spent so long on the announcements, we didn't even finish number 4. So we're going to go back to number 4. We're starting something called long division of polynomials. You had a cute little handout, and I'm telling you, it's going to be useful to you. Well, it can be if you want it to be. You have this cute little handout that says polynomial division that you got yesterday, and we talked about how long division, when you used to do it with numbers, is the same as long division with polynomials. We're still following that same process of bringing things down and subtracting. Okay, so we were in the middle of this problem, number 4. I'm going to kind of briefly go back over it. So we know we want to divide. We want to see how many times does 2x plus 1 go into 8x to the 4th, 0x to the 3rd, negative 4x squared, plus x plus 4. Does anyone remember why I put a 0 there? Yes. Okay, so we have to have placeholders. If something's missing, and maybe that's the kind of note we should make to ourselves. If there's an exponent missing, the way x cubed was missing, you need a 0 in its place, or as a placeholder. So we had to put 0x cubed, or else things weren't going to line up. They weren't going to line up. So if something's missing, we're going to have to add in a 0. Now, of course, that we're going to work an easier one today where that doesn't exactly happen to begin with. But just FYI, for instance, I know you can see around the room, there are some that have ones missing, and so you'll need to put in a 0 placeholder. Okay, so we take it one step at a time. I ask myself, how many times does 2x go into 8x to the 4th? Or I could ask myself, I normally ask myself, what can I multiply 2x by in order to turn it into 8x to the 4th? Well, I know 2 times 4 is 8, so that's why I picked the 4, the green 4. I knew x times x to the 3rd was x to the 4th, so that's why I picked the green x to the 3rd. Okay, but if I multiply 2x times 4x to the 3rd, I also have to multiply 1 times 4x to the 3rd. Hence, that entire green line, 8x to the 4th minus plus 4x to the 3rd. One loose point. Are there any questions about the green? Okay, well, this is the part where most people get lost. We need to subtract. If we don't subtract, the 8x to the 4th won't go away. The whole point is for things to start going away. So when we subtract, hence that orange subtraction symbol on the outside, 8x to the 4th minus 8x to the 4th, that does cancel out. But you would have thought it was going to be a positive 4x to the 3rd, but that negative side on the outside has to go with the 4. So that's why it's 0 minus 4x to the 3rd, and that's how we got the orange negative 4x to the 3rd. Are there any questions about the negative 4x to the 3rd? Okay, well, that's our new goal. We want somehow for 2x to become negative 4x to the 3rd. So 2 to negative 4, well, that's easy. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So that's why we picked the pink negative 2. X times x squared is x to the 3rd, so that's why we picked the pink x squared. So I picked negative 2x squared because 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. X times x squared is x to the 3rd. And now these two match, which is perfect, because when I change this one sign, they're going to end up canceling out. But whatever I do, since I multiplied 2x times that, I have to multiply 1 times that as well. So 1 times that, that's how we got the pink negative 2x squared. Okay, are there any questions about this line and where it came from? Okay, well, again, people seem to get lost with the subtraction part. So we subtract negative 4 plus negative 4 minus the negative 4 is the same as negative 4 plus 4. So the x thirds end up dying. That's what we wanted to happen. Negative 4x squared minus negative 2x squared. Well, that ends up being negative 4 minus a negative 2. Negative 4 minus negative 2 is negative 4 plus 2. And that's how we ended up with negative 2x squared here. And that is when you lost me because it was a minute away from the bell and your attention span just couldn't handle it any longer. So we got to bring down our x, because sadly we're not done. But we're getting close to being done, because the only thing we can bring down after that x is the 4. So we're like 2 lines away, because we're about to run out of stuff to bring down. Okay, so again, I asked myself, how do I get 2x to become negative 2x squared? Well, how do you go from 2 to negative 2? What do you multiply by? Negative 1. So I know I'm going to use a negative 1. That way I can get that negative 2. Because 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. I need x squared and I only have x. So don't I need to make it negative 1x or just negative x? Because x times x is x squared. So again, the reason I picked negative 1x, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. X times x is x squared. And hey, now these two match. That's my goal. So that way when I change the signs, they end up canceling out. But you gotta be fair in life. If we multiply 2x times this, we also have to multiply 1 times this. So 1 times negative 1x ends up being just negative x. And if you're like me, you get super excited because you think, hey, this cancels out and this cancels out, and you would be incorrect.
So you have to multiply it by a negative.
Yes, you've got to change the sign in that second line. So now I have negative 2 minus a negative 2, so it ends up being negative 2 plus 2, so the x squareds do end up dying. But I don't have x minus x. I actually have x minus a negative x, which ends up being x plus x, and x plus x is 2x. I've been doing that this whole time, that way I understand it goes to both that one and that one.
So it could cancel out.
Yes, because we want this one to cancel out. This one doesn't cancel out, but if we don't pay attention to the outside sign, you would want to say x minus x is 0 when it's supposed to be x minus negative x. So x plus x, which is how we got this 2x. And we're almost done because the only person I could bring down is the 4. And now, seriously, we're just saying, how do I get 2x to become 2x? What do I multiply 2x by in order to stay 2x? 1. So at the top, I'm going to put a plus 1. Well, 2x times 1 is just 2x. 1 times 1, oops, you can't see all that. 2x times 1 is just 2x. 1 times 1 is just 1. So then when we do that step where we change the signs, 2x minus 2x, it does die. 4 minus 1 ends up being 3. So we have a remainder of 3. And Miss Compton is out of room, so I'm going to have to write my answer to the side. If you can put yours at the top, that's definitely where you'd want it to go. But our answer is 4x to the third minus 2x squared minus x plus 1. And then we take that remainder, the 3, and put it over what we were dividing by, which is that 2x plus 1. Again, if you can fit that on your top line, that would make your life easier. I just wrote words beside it, so I'm out of room. Okay, I'm going to practice 2 more, or we're going to practice 2 more together, and then as you can tell, I'm wanting you to try some on your own. As you can tell. Today is still me helping you. Monday, we're going to have most of our time to just do this around the room thing after we do the math workshop. Okay, let's go to number 6. We're going to skip number 5 for the moment. Number 5 ends up being nice. It's kind of like 1 and 2 where you could just pull out a GCF and like the workout. So we'll save number 5 till Monday. Let's go to number 6 because it does involve long division. So we're wanting to divide 3a minus 2 into 18a squared plus 6a plus 9. This one's going to be a fast one because that's not very long. There's only 3 things. It shouldn't take long at all. I don't know why we had to do a super long one on number 4 to make it to this fast one on number 6. Okay, what can we multiply 3a by in order to get to 18a squared? And yes, 3 times 6 is 18. Doesn't it need to be 6a? That way we get a squared. Okay, does everyone understand why we picked 6a? Because 3a times 6a. 3 times 6 is 18. A times a is a squared. And yay, we were able to turn our 3a into that 18a squared. Again, 3 times 6 is 18. A times a squared. Life's looking good. But if I multiply 3a times 6a, I also have to do negative 2 times 6a. So I get negative 12a. What do I do after this? The 12, negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. I did negative 2 times 6a and got negative 12a.
Multiplied by a negative. Multiplied by 1 by a negative.
Yes, and I'm going to give every group a point because I heard it from Seth said it as well, and I know 6 did too. So we're either going to, you can in your mind think I'm multiplying by a negative, or you can think I'm going to subtract. Either way is fine. I always put it in parentheses. I always put my minus sign out front. I'm one of those who makes sign errors. If you're like me, you have to be real careful. Okay, 18a squared minus 18a squared, that cancels out, so we're on the right track. But I can't say 6a minus 12a is negative 6a. That's not correct. What is the correct thing I should write down on the next line? Yes, 6 get a point. It should be 6 minus negative 12. So it's 6 plus 12, because how we got the 18a. Does everyone understand how we got the purple 18a? It was 6 minus a negative 12. Is it minus a negative and it means just a plus?
Yes.
So it ends up being 6 plus 12, which is how we got 18. Okay, and now I got to bring down that 9, but you and I both know that means this next step has to be the end, because there's no one else to bring down after this. Valeria, I'm dying. Will you turn it off? Yes. Thank you. Okay, what do I need to multiply by in order for my 3a to turn into an 18a? 6. So if I multiply by 6, (3a) times 6 is 18a. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. Are there any questions about the brown line? Doesn't look very brown. 3a times 6, 18a. Negative 2 times 6, negative 12. Are there any questions about the brown line? Okay, well, you have to subtract or multiply by negative 1. Either way is fine. So you have to put the orange thing in the parentheses with the minus sign. 18a minus 18a, those cancel out. And then what's my remainder? Because it's 9 minus negative 12. So it ends up being 9 plus 12, which ends up being 21. So that's my remainder. So I end up going back to the top. And since my remainder is 21, I do 21 over 3a minus 2. Now, table 1 is going to get a point, and here's why. Because he's trying to make a mistake that I would try to make myself. It was Don Terrius's. You were the one saying 7, right? Yeah, it's his. The reason it's his is because he was trying to just skip ahead and say 21 divided by 3 is 7. But you can't do that because 21 divided by negative 2 is not 7. So you just got to leave it be. It's ugly, but leave it be. I never said we were going to have pretty answers. I never said long division was the best. I told you it was equivalent to going to the dentist. I can do it. I don't mind it, but I'd rather do something else. Yeah, if it was a multiple of 3 at the bottom, then yes, you could factor it out and do that. But the fact that you thought to make that reduction, it probably was a GCF to begin with, so you probably could have alleviated all your worries. Because I noticed that 18, 6, and 9, there was a 3 we could have pulled out to begin with. It probably would have made our life a little easier. Just a thought. No, do you have to? No. Okay, number 7, we're going to do a plus 2 and 2. I need to be very careful on this one. Why do I need to be more careful on number 6 and 7?
No Q.
2, 3, 2 get an extra point 1. She was first. She was on it like white on rice. 4a to the 4th plus 0a to the 3rd plus 2a squared minus 4a plus 12. Okay, so I've got to turn my a into a 4a squared. 6, are you already at 5 points? Yes, right? Go to 5, and then don't answer the questions, because I know y'all know how. I'll give you some extra in a few minutes. Let me see that someone else knows. Okay, a to 4a squared. What do I need to multiply by? 4a to the what?
4A.
To the 4a to the 4th. It's the third. Because a, 4a squared, I add my exponents. 3 plus 1 is 4. Let's think it through again. So I want to turn my a into a 4a squared. I agree, you got to multiply by 4 in order to get the 4 in front. But a times a to the third is a to the 4th. Okay, well, I multiplied my a times 4a to the third. I have to multiply my 2 times 4a to the third. So I'm going to have plus 8a to the third. Are there any questions about the pink line? You know that 1 plus 3 is 4, yes ma'am? And you add your exponents. You knew you already had a 1. You needed to get to a 4. Again, you knew 1 plus 3 is 4. You knew it was a 3. And then you knew 2 times 4 is 8. So you see how I got the 8a to the third. And then you know I'm going to subtract and say 4a to the 4th minus 4a to the 4th. Those die. 0 minus 8 is negative 8a to the third. Is everyone good with the orange? That's an ugly 8, but an 8 nonetheless. Okay, I get to bring down my 2a squared. And I'm excited because I only have 2 more things to bring down, so it can't last that much longer. I need to go from a to negative 8 to the third. What do I need to multiply by? Well, I'm going to need the negative 8 in order to get the negative 8a, but I need negative 8a to the third. So I'm going to need a to the what power, because 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 2 times negative 8a squared, well, that's negative 16a squared. Are there any questions about the brown line? Yes, you can have a point. The a to the thirds end up dying. Seth is right. I have 2 minus a negative 16. It ends up being 2 plus 16, which is 18a squared. Are there any questions about how we got the 18a squared? I bring down my minus 4a. Again, I'm excited because there can only be one more step after this, because there's only a 12 to bring down after this. So my gosh, it's almost over. I need to go from a to 18a squared. What do I need to multiply by in order to make that happen? You're going to have to multiply by 18 because it didn't have anybody. A times 18 is 18a. I need 18a squared, though, not 18a. Thank you. So I'm going to have to multiply by 18a, because a times a, 1 plus 1, I end up getting 18a squared. Everyone understand why I'm multiplying by 18a, not just 18? So I need 18a squared, and a to the 1 plus a to the 1 gives me a to the 2.
And it would be 36a.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Archer. I have a point. 2 times 18a is plus 36a. I can't forget about that. I did a times 18a, got 18a squared. I did 2 times 18a, and I got my 36a.
Multiply the 1 by a negative, and then you have, and the 18a squared will cancel out.
And I end up having negative 4a minus 36a. So what do I end up having remaining?
Negative 48.
Yeah, so negative 4 minus 36, I end up having a negative 40a. And sadly, Miss Compton's out of room, so we're going to have to do it underneath here. Okay, and I've got one last thing to bring down, so I know there's at least one more step. So I'm bringing down my plus 12. And now I'm asking myself, let me zoom out a little. Now I'm asking myself, how do I go from A to negative 40A? What do I multiply by in order to go from A to negative 40A? Yes. And we multiply by that negative 40. 1 and 3 get a point. We would have negative 40A minus 80. And this problem's taking so long, I'm out of room.
Divide the multiplied bottom one by negative, and you got out the 48. They both cancel out.
The 48s cancel out.
And then you have 92.
Yes. You have a remainder of 92. So I'm going to put that up at the top. I'm going to leave that on the screen for a second now so everyone understands that's my remainder. So I'm going to do 92 over A plus 2. And I'm going to put that on my top line. But I got to give it a second because, Lord, this problem takes so much space I can't show it all on the overcame lines. Are there any questions about how we got the 92? It's okay to have a remainder. In fact, if there wasn't going to be a remainder, we probably could have figured it out an easier way. We probably could have done this, I don't know, without like the way we were pulling on VCF the other day. Most of the time you're supposed to have a remainder with long division. Otherwise, what's the point in persevering this long? Okay, so back to my answer. Yes, it's 4a to the third minus 8a squared plus 18a minus 40, but you got to add in that
With the remainder of 92 over A plus 2.
92 over a plus 2. You've got to add in that remainder into your answer. It's part of your answer. Okay, are there any questions about this? Okay, well, you've got some time. Let me tell you what we're going to do. I didn't feel like pulling out your workbook, no offense. It does not sound like fun. I told you, to me, long division is equivalent of going to the dentist. It did not sound like fun to assign you a workbook page. That sounded like torture for us all. So instead, we're doing something called MathLib. In case you can't tell, it's posted all around the room. So, and you do not have to do this for homework yet, unless you think it's going to take you some time. We're going to make it due at the end of class on Tuesday, but you are not going to have the full class period on Tuesday. You will have, besides math workshop, you will have all class period on Monday, but you're not going to have all class period on Tuesday. On Monday, I will be nice and start telling you random answers. Like, for instance, everyone know how MathLib works? Okay, so MathLib is where, like, you ask Kelsey for a verb, she tells me a verb. Ask Miss Brissy for a noun, she tells me a noun. And then when we put it all together, it makes a funny story. Like, it might say,
I like talking about
it might say at the end, so flip to the very back paper, look at the bottom. Blank was blank to be blank was blank on blank. At blank and blank while wearing blank and blank because blank. So it's one of those weird ones. So number 1 is actually over here. And it's some of the math teachers to teach opportunity trade. The answer is not Miss Compton, I'll tell you that. I was not that narcissistic. But pretend it was. Miss Compton was nervous to be riding go-karts with, I don't know where number 4 is, with Miley Cyrus on, and it ends up making a silly little thing, I know. And so on Monday I'll tell you stuff like the answer is not Miss Thompson, but the teacher is this. And I'll try to help you out a little more. But as for today, we're just going to start. You can work with your group. Your goal is to get at least 2 of these done today. You don't have to start on number 1. And in fact, you would make your life easiest if you just started on the number closest to you. So Seth's group closest to 6. I would go to the box that has 6 and work my problem there. Now, while I don't care if Seth and Patrick and Tyreek and Ontario's work together, each person needs to have these work on their own paper in their little home. Because I'm telling you, eventually Ms. Compton's going to tell you answers. So if all Seth puts on number 6 is the zoo, how do I know he actually knew how to do the math? He didn't just guess the zoo.
I mean, I can guess if you want me to.
No, I don't want you to. I want you to show me some work. Even if you get stuck, Nemo's Whisper can help you if you got work. You don't have work, hammer now. Okay, does everyone understand what you're supposed to be doing?